Good morning, everyone. I hereby call to order the Klamath County Board of Commissioners in our weekly business meeting. It's August 10, 2021. The time now is 8:30. We have Commissioner Boyd, Commissioner DeGroot, and myself, Commissioner Morris, here. To start our meeting, if everyone would please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, everyone. Haley, do we have any changes to the agenda to note?
None.
Okay, fantastic. Why don't we go ahead and take our first order of business, and that's public comment. We do have somebody signed up today, Rita Vining. Rita, come on up and just identify yourself the first time you speak, and we'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you. My name's Rita Vining, and I wish to thank you for your time and your thoughtful consideration for my two issues. One is a 2020 election forensic audit, and then restore our chain of custody with our ballots. I obtained over 560 signed signatures from our community requesting those two issues. I'm sorry. We had, number one, the issue that they had when it was being reported out on the election in the 2020. There were numbers being switched from one candidate to the other, and that was shown on the Fox News as well as Newsmax. Senator Wyden wrote a letter to the Dominion voting system in 2019, and you'll have that information there, regarding that the potential for the voting switching and the probability of inaccurate information being reported to us, as well as Sidney Powell said that the Hammers hardware and the scorecard for the software were reporting that and were switching those numbers. The next thing that they said was the way that they get the ballots in, they were receiving ballots for a deceased member, was a spouse or a parent, and some were saying they didn't receive their ballots. And so our governor is signed the IP 302, which wants us to remain on the voter registry, as well as people moving away to remain on the voter registry. They thought that was a potential for fraud. So they want that restored, that chain of custody. I've spoken to Rochelle, our county clerk, and I asked her about some of the new registered voters. Klamath had 9,224 new registered voters. And she said, well, if it's a new voter, they will be getting their ballot regardless of the time limit, that the cutoff of October 13th, that time. And she said if you change your active to inactive, whichever, you would still get your ballot. Then I spoke to our senators. Senator Thatcher said the only way Oregon would change is if they were shamed into making a change or if they were pushed by another governing agency. I talked to Warner Rinsky, and he said he even tried to put a bill in the 3196 HB for ballot harvesting, and he said it didn't even get out of committee. And so I talked to Senator Lithicum, and he says we need to hold you accountable, the commissioners. We also need to know that you are the arm of our election for the state. In closing, I would just like to say this. Why not an audit? Who's above one? I get them all the time. What do you have to hide? The audit that I'm suggesting, there's no secret preliminary audits, no risk limiting audits, no agreed upon procedures. I'm just asking you to back our people, our senators, and you be the pace car to establish a momentum for the rest of the state. Thank you for your time. Do you want these registrations?
If you want to leave them with our staff, please do.
Smell like we've got the backing. I know that's what you want.
Thank you. All right, so we do need to review meeting minutes from last week. Are they acceptable to both of you?
Yes, they are.
All right, thanks, guys. We do have a issue that comes under, a couple that come under prior approved. I will go ahead and just read them in just for time's sake. The first is from item 6.1. This is the Klamath County Drainage Service District, the IGA between the Service Drainage District and Enterprise Irrigation District. As some background, our drainage district requests that Enterprise Irrigation District assist with mucking out and piping portions of the IC drain system. KID will work with Enterprise Irrigation District to complete the work. IED will staff the large excavator and provide the labor. KID will provide labor and dump truck services. Public Works will supervise. Drainage Service District will provide piping materials, aggregate cost not to exceed $40,000 total unless both agree. Again, that fiscal impact is not to exceed $40,000 to the Klamath County Drainage Service District operating budget. A motion was made in the July 13, 2021 admin meeting to approve and sign the IGA between the Drainage District and Enterprise Irrigation District agreement in effect July 1, 2021, continuing to December 31, 2021, may be renewed for an additional 5 years. Item 6.2 is also with the Drainage District. This is the IGA between, basically the same thing between the Klamath County Drainage Service District and Klamath Irrigation District. The request was made for assistance with mucking out and/or piping portions of the IC drain system. KID will work with Enterprise Irrigation District to complete the work. IED staff will work with the large excavator providing labor. KID will provide labor and dump truck services. Public Works will supervise. The fiscal impact is not to exceed $40,000 to the Klamath County Drainage Service District operating budget. A motion was also made in the July 13, 2021 admin meeting for the board to sign the IGA between the County Service Drainage District and Enterprise and Klamath Irrigation District. The agreement is in effect July 1, 2021, continuing to December 31, 2021, and has the opportunity to be renewed for 5 years. Item 6.3, am I reading that one in?
Yep, this is in the matter of approving a contract for professional services between Wind Broadcasting Company and Klamath County. The federal government, through the state of Oregon, offered grant funds to Klamath County for vaccination incentives to include marketing and promotional costs encouraging COVID-19 vaccination. Klamath County received a proposal and budget from Wind Broadcasting that would provide this professional service implementing the requirements of grant number 2618 the county has with the state of Oregon. The county will reimburse Wind Broadcasting for their Conquer COVID vaccination promotion as outlined in Exhibit A. This contract will expire January 6, 2022. And the item was approved in the July 27th, 21 admin meeting. So fiscal impact not to exceed $432,458.97 expenditure from the COVID-19 pandemic fund. And this again was approved on the 27th of July.
Do you mind if I make a comment on that? This is to incentivize people for getting vaccinated. You don't have to get vaccinated to apply for the lottery or for the, I can't think of the word for what this is, but you do not have to be vaccinated. Any citizen in Klamath County can put their name in for the drawing for these prizes. So again, you do not have to be vaccinated. It is an incentive to get vaccinated. I think you should, but that's a choice that I think every individual ought to be able to make on their own. And so this is not exclusively for vaccinated individuals.
Thanks. Can you read 6.4?
This is in the matter of a resolution declaring a state of emergency within Klamath County. Local and regional resources have been exhausted as domestic private wells numbering from over 100 have begun to go dry or experience problems due to low water tables. Assistance is urgently needed in the area to preserve life, liberty, and property and rich tribal history. While a county disaster declaration in this instance can only bring attention to the serious matter of the state and federal disaster declaration from Klamath County will provide more resources
to meet this disaster as well as recovery to follow. There is no physical impact. There was a motion made and passed in August 3rd, 2021 administrative meeting to approve and sign the resolution declaring a state of emergency within Klamath County due to the impact of dry domestic wells.
Thank you. Item 7.1 is our monthly service awards for employees. We would like to recognize and celebrate 5 years of service for Emily Silva from Public Health and Cassandra Newman from Community Corrections, 10 years for Kevin Roach from Juvenile, Steve Leslie from the Sheriff's Office, and 20 years for Kathy Pierce from Veterans and Shane Mitchell from the Sheriff's Office. We appreciate and support and applaud all these employees for their time of service. Item 8.1, Klamath County Tax Collector Rick Vaughn.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rick Vaughn, Klamath County Tax Collector Property Manager. Before you now, we've got the transient room tax second quarter distribution, which ended June 30th, 2021. In accordance with Klamath County Code, Chapter 603, transient room tax, any person, firm, social club, etc., who exercises occupancy for 30 days or less for dwelling, lodging, or sleeping purposes from any hotel, motel space in a mobile home park or trailer park, etc., from an operator shall collect the tax imposed, which constitutes a debt owed by the operator to the county. The amount collected for the first quarter came to $965,191.11 and shall be distributed accordingly by the tax revenue sharing formula to the participants. TRT revenue will be distributed totaling $955,539.20 with additional $9,651.91 revenue to the tax collector's office. Expenditure of $965,191.11 to the Transient Room Tax Fund Tax Collector Department.
I'd like to make a motion to approve and execute the attached order so the tax administrator can distribute accordingly by the tax revenue sharing formula, $965,191.11 to the participants of the transient room tax set by Klamath County Code 603.610, fiscal impact being revenue received and distributed in the amount of $965,191.11, the expenditure to the Transient Room Tax Fund Tax Collector Department.
Second.
All right, we have an active motion now. Are there questions for the tax collector? Comments or thoughts?
In relation to previous years, I know you knew it was coming.
Of course. Increased year by year of 108%.
That's nice.
So very, very large quarter.
Yeah, that's strong. Good news.
All right, with no other discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Chair votes aye, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. 8.2, planning.
This is in the matter of vacating lots 16 and 17, no, I'm good. And block 50, Klamath Falls Forest Estates Highway 66, plat number 2, map number R3811014C0, tax lots 4800 and 4900. The property owner of the two lots is Amanda and Brian Brazil, who has signed a petition requesting this action. Vacating the lots will not be detrimental to the public. The planning director's report recommends that the two lots be vacated from the subdivision. The applicant paid $583 application fee to process the request to vacate the lots. Approval of the final order by the Board of Commissioners has no fiscal impact to the county. I would make a motion that we approve the final order to vacate the above described property located in Klamath County, file number LV 16 TAC 21. There's no fiscal impact to Klamath County.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion now. Any discussion or comments or thoughts? Anything from anyone?
I have none.
Nothing?
None.
Okay, let's vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Chair votes aye, motion passes. 8.3 is the matter of appointing Dwayne Whitehead to the Veterans Advisory Council. That council has a vacancy and has recommended the appointment of the above-named individual who is willing, able, and eligible to serve a term. I move that we approve and sign the attached order appointing Dwayne Whitehead to the Veterans Advisory Council.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. 8.4 is the matter of appointing Heather Tramp, Andrew Stork, and William Weissmeyer to the Economic Development Advisory Committee. That committee has vacancies and has recommended the above-named individuals who are willing, able, and eligible to serve a term. No fiscal impact. I'll move that we approve and sign the attached order appointing Heather Tramp, Andrew Stork, and William Weissmeyer to the Economic Development Advisory Committee.
Second.
We have a motion now. Any discussion, comments, thoughts?
I don't have any, no.
Okay, not seeing any, so let's vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Chair votes aye, motion passes. Agreements, 9.1 DDS. Hi, Miles.
Morning.
Good morning. Miles Maxey, Developmental Disability Services Director. Before you is our intergovernmental agreement with the state of Oregon for us to provide developmental disability services to citizens of Klamath County. There is one small edit to this, which is thankful to the BOCC staff for making this change in what sits before you. But on page 34 of the document, there was an error made that talked about an audit requirement for us. It's not an actual requirement for us. It's a requirement for any counties that subcontract out this. But really, this is pretty standard, pretty similar to what it has been in the past, with a couple of exceptions being that we have a responsibility over the coming year to conduct a service equity assessment, and then over the second year of the contract to implement a service equity plan. So we are working with the state on finding assessments so that we can conduct those. Otherwise, pretty standard. Again, as I've shared in previous meetings, pretty significant increase in the amount of funding because of the number of individuals that we're supporting, which is then in turn turning to the need for additional staff, which is a requirement of this contract, that we hire as many FTE as possible with the money granted to us.
I move that we approve the IGA with the state of Oregon for the financing of community developmental disabilities with the service agreement number 169205, effective July 1, 2021 through June 30, 2023, authorizing the chair to sign the agreement. That fiscal revenue is over the biennium a total of $6,322,352.89. The revenue is split 50-50 over the two fiscal years, which essentially means it's $3,161,176.45 for 21-22 and 22-23 to the County Developmental Disability Services budget.
Second.
All right, we have an active motion now. Are there questions for the director or comments?
Mr. Maxey, there's a couple of things that you said that bother me. One, we have to do a equity assessment. I think the government has gone way too far. I don't think we should have to be required to do those kind of things. I think we treat people the way that we all do. Doesn't matter what color their skin is, it doesn't matter what their sexual orientation is, it doesn't matter how they identify. We treat people because they're human beings. I think that we're required to an equity assessment, I think is an insult to the county. Second, I totally disagree with the fact when you said we have to hire as many FTE as possible with this money. That right there is the government putting people on employment. I think if we have enough people to cover the staff that we need, there's no need to hire extra people. I see no reason that we should have to hire as many people as we possibly can with the funds that are contributed. If that's what the contract truly says, that right there is government overreach.
Okay. And I would agree with you on the service equity piece. Like, we certainly do. We treat people the same. Whoever comes through our door, we serve them. And again, I think that's a big reason of why we continue to grow, is we are serving people in a great way, and that's getting around. And I can only speak to the fact that I sat in on these negotiation talks, and this was a point of significant conversation due to the need that this was added to every contract for every case management entity in the state, which our legal counsel sat on that as well. As far as the hiring, Again, I can only say what it says in the contract, which is they've given us an FTE number to get as close as possible to, and they've asked us to hire as many people. And again, I agree with you. We're going to be fiscally wise. I'm not looking to just hire people for the sake of hiring. We want to hire people that are going to come in and meet that very piece of that first statement of that are going to serve people as with the highest quality as possible.
Right. Anything else? Anything? Anything else, Commissioner? All right, hearing no other discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Any opposed by the same sign?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Miles.
Commissioner Morris, do you want me to come sit down with you to go through where all the spots are that need signatures and initials and?
Sure, our staff probably has it well laid out, but if I need help, I'll ask. How
Okay,
about that?
sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. I know
Have a
where to
good day.
find you.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to, and Eric, we actually did your item. Commissioner DeGroot read it in, so you're off the hook.
These are tough ones, aren't they?
They are. I took care of you.
Item 9.2, Public Works.
Good morning.
Morning.
Ryan Hamilton on behalf of Jeremy Morris. The City of Klamath Falls has requested assistance with street maintenance. This agreement will allow Klamath County Road Department to perform chip seals to the City of Klamath Falls roads and be reimbursed per the attached specifications during this summer, 2021.
I'd like to make a motion, the board approve and execute the authorized Public Works Director to sign the agreement between the Klamath Falls City Public Works and the City of Klamath Falls for physical impact. However, the revenues and expenditures will be increased by up to $147,000.
Second.
All right, we have an active motion now. Any questions for Public Works?
No.
Or any comments, anything for you? All right, hearing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Thanks,
Thank you.
Ryan. Okay, last item is 10.1. This is the matter of approval of a social gaming license for Klamath Social Club LLC for 4 card tables. The Klamath County Ordinance 21.1 allows for social gaming license by firm, persons, or corporations doing business for profit. Each new application is reviewed by the Klamath County Sheriff's Office. The sheriff recommends the social gaming license be granted. No house income may result from the operation. The revenue is $400, which is $100 per table to the General Fund Commissioners. I move that we approve this social gaming license for Klamath Social Club LLC for 4 card tables. Fiscal impact is a revenue of $400 to the General Fund Commissioners.
Second.
All right, we have a motion now. Any discussion or feedback, comments, thoughts, concerns? Anything?
None.
All right, let's vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. That concludes our agenda, so we will move into, before we adjourn, we'll move into Commissioner reports. Commissioner Boyd, why don't you start?
I'm sorry I was not here last week. I was can't remember what the heck I was doing, to be really honest with you, but I wasn't here. So thank you to the two of you for taking care of what was going on. I've been working with the Oregon State Fire Marshal to finish up what was going on with Bootleg Fire. Spent quite a lot of time talking about the Walrus Fire and the Annex Fire. Been working with the Red Cross to do damage assessments to the homes and helping the Red Cross deciding who may be able to receive some assistance from the Red Cross. Spent quite a lot of time doing that yesterday, and been helping people that have been evacuated move to places that are better suited than evacuation shelters in the last week.
Cool. Commissioner.
You know, I just want to take the time for a quick shout out over the past weekend, those who did not have the opportunity to get out to the fairgrounds and experience the fair. That might have been the most well-attended fair that I've ever seen. The entertainment that was brought in by our fair board and fair staff was top-notch. Had the opportunity to experience some of that myself. My wife and I and some friends get together and watch some concerts. Commissioner Morris, you were there. And also the auction, the 4-H auction. I just got to say, this community just never ceases to amaze me. I said the exact same thing last year, I believe, as records were crushed. This year, after the time that we've experienced and the time that we are in, over $1.2 million after add-ons at the auction. I mean, an absolutely insane number. Shout out to Madeline Bloom. Thank you for the steer. I'm sure it'll be delicious. And I'll leave it at that.
Great. So, gosh, over the last week, I guess the most noteworthy is our continued effort to help get water in the hands of folks with dry and failing domestic wells. Those first deliveries, the first water tenders went out filling people's tanks on, what is today's Tuesday? I believe they first went out last Wednesday, and they've been out each day, both filling people's tanks who had a dry or failing well, reported to the water master and already had their own tank, and then also the tanks that we've worked with the state of Oregon to supply to folks that didn't have one. So just as a continued reminder, if you have a dry or failing well or know someone who does, report it to the water master. That will make you eligible for a 500-gallon tank and filling of that tank. Additionally, we've set up via volunteers from the local churches and the community emergency response teams, with the help of Public Works, we've set up a water filling station that operates Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the road shop on Wesco Road. And this Friday, they typically operate 10 to 2, but this Friday they're going to extend their hours to 6 in hopes to catch a few more people that need it. So with that, we'll adjourn right at 9 o'clock.
Thanks, everybody. Good day.
Yeah.